Big carnivores are back on the menu for Path of Titans' mod news, with Carcharodontosaurus, Tyrannosaurus, giant crocodiles, and so much more. So without further ado, let's get right into it. We're starting with a double header from El Reptiliano's mods, with both the Carcharodontosaurus and the sinoceratops getting some appreciation today. Let's start with the Carchar, because this guy's got a lot. Now, my last mention of this beast was all the way back in June, so let's recap what we have from then, shall we? So, early last month in July, about halfway through, Repti released some changes to the Carchar's model, which included changes to the tail length, the head shape, the leg size, and the neck shape. But after that, we also got two new emotes that was showcased by Blood of a Draco. The first is the threat display stance, with the animation by Iron Carnage and the skin by Game Videos for Life. The second is an investigation emote, and the skin was made by Aristoterix. I love the animations, they're really well put together, and overall they're really fluid, but we also get technically another variation of the roar, which I'll showcase in a moment too. I'll showcase all the actual audio for them at the end of this segment. Recently, the creators showcased a new ability for the Carchar, which was called Bloodfall Crusher, which is a timed attack which does low damage, and it scales to a very high damage attack depending on how much bleed the target has accumulated. It does 20 damage as the base, but it scales depending on the bleed amount and has an 8-second cooldown and a stamina cost of 5. So it looks like the Carcharodontosaurus will be focusing on bleed and bleed output and damage stacking on that. To add to this, we have a bunch of showcases of some in-game screenshots which were made, the first two by Blood of a Draco, and then you have a bunch of others which were shared by Repti from the Wrath of the Goliaths team members, including Xtego, Flipsy, and literally Scott Pilgrim. As for that though, let's showcase all of the audio for the emotes, and let's get into the next creature, which is Sinoceratops. We get some fresh showcases for the Sinoceratops, and now the Sinoceratops hasn't really had much news for it. It was showcased early this year, and then aside from that, nothing else really happened. But that being said, we get the broadcast animation, and the other is the walking animation. For the broadcast animation, they said this was actually what was in a teaser a while ago, and that teaser actually was the Sinoceratops. That being said, in general, they also said due to the Styraco TLC, they can also make a very interesting kit for the Sinoceratops. Anyways, here's the emotes. Now we come to the next segment, but this one will have some sad news, and this is regarding the Ancient Monsters mods. This comes with an announcement from Doc J, which read like this. I've been dreading sending this message to the people who've been patiently waiting for the return of the Ancient Monsters mods. I am with a heavy heart discontinuing the Ancient Monster mod due to this long break away from making mods. I realise that I've been feeling better mentally and found how toxic the POT modding scene really is. From simply wanting to make something unique, but the Puritans constantly shouting, "This is a dinosaur game," and to those who complained every time some ability breaks the meta of the game, constantly catering to people's wants on what is considered balance, or trying to please people with constant changes and nerfs. This is not to say I won't come back someday, but to keep promising I'll be returning soon is just giving people false hope that it's around the corner. I can't keep doing that to people, so no mod will be worked on and the current available roster will slowly fade away from existence. He did go on to say the future for the Ancient Monster stuff after this, saying that it's not all bad news. He's not giving up on the creatures, but has different ideas for them. For example, him and a friend are making a game concept that will feature these creatures in a new light. The game will be dedicated to these creatures in their own world and setting, which will get some news in due time. That being said, I do think this is, of course, one of those things where you just have to respect the wishes from Doc J. You know, he's left the scene now, and we might not see him return. We might see him return, who knows. But for now, he's away from the scene. That being said, I just want to thank Jay for some incredibly awesome memories through the mods that he's brought to the game. Some really cool stuff, like the Madrahorn, the Moraquil, and even the little bat thing. They're all awesome. And he's a very talented guy, and I wish him the absolute best with whatever he's going to do in the future, whether that's his game stuff, or, you know, you can check him out. I think, is it on Twitch or his Twitter? He does some VTuber stuff as well, and I definitely recommend you check out his live streams there and go follow him. That being said, everybody, let's all wish Doc J the best. He's an awesome guy, and of course, I wish him the best in the future going forward. But now let's get into the next mods. Going back to the dinosaurs now, and today we have the Divine Beast Rex, the Feathered Rex. This has been seeing some progress on its development with several teasers. Firstly, we have this showcase of a skin by Janie, but I kind of wanted to distract from the skin by Janie and actually talk about the fuzz, because the neck fuzz and the body fuzz is generally something that is really well put together. It blends very well throughout the model too. Continuing on from the fuzz, we actually do get a handful of fuzzy individuals that are coming from the DB mod team that include the T-Rex, the Zoocheng Tyrannus rework, the Velociraptor TLC, and the Suzalsaurus. Of course, my favourite there is the little Velociraptor, but I feel like that's mainly because it's me. Going back to the Rex, we do get to see the baby Rex and the adult Rex. The baby, of course, is looking at you with a 1,000-yard stare. If you zoom in, that thing is literally staring into your soul, and it makes me a little bit uncomfortable. And finally, speaking of the feathers, we do have this close-up of the feathers themselves, which further showcase how awesome they look. Look at the detail. These things look awesome. I cannot wait to see them in the game and how they'll turn out when we get a hold of them ourselves. Now, I'm sticking to the DB team here because we actually have something to talk about, which is for their Carcharodontosaurus. Now, we know that the Zoocheng Tyrannus is getting a TLC, and we also now know that the Carcharodontosaurus will be getting one too after the Zoocheng Tyrannus's TLC. Now, I'm under the assumption that this will include a model TLC, but if it's not a model TLC, it's definitely some form of ability overhaul. They did say this will be the last proper TLC, but there are some updates coming to Dryo, Moser, and Innostransevia. And now we have a cute little teaser from the jeholopterus. This was shown recently with a video made by Curly Nectar, and you can see the full video on their YouTube channel. It's a 30-second teaser, and I'm only going to show images for it, so you can go ahead and check out Curly Nectar's channel. It shows some very teasy clips of the jeholopterus, which are quite hard to make out. The first is the little guys in a forest area, or well, one of the little guys, because you can see the jeholo's eyes, and I'm assuming, well, it's knowledgeable that he is in a nest stealing eggs from it. After that, you do get little clips of the jeholo flying away from the nest with the egg in its mouth. And I gotta say, every teaser I see of this little guy, it just gets better and better and cuter by the day. I don't even know how close this thing is to release, but I kind of want it right now because look at it. It's so cute. Now, in the last mod news video, I shown you some texture progress for the Purussaurus. Well, now that texture work is done, and we finally have some rendered out images and some in-game shots of this beast. The first one is the showcase render, and I love it. Now, for those who don't know what Purussaurus is, it's a massive caiman that lived in South America in the Miocene. So after the dinosaurs, it's thought to be also a little smaller or around the same size as Deinosuchus. So yeah, around like that. And the model is great. The PG team have done amazing as per usual because they're a fantastically talented bunch. We do get to see one of the patterns for the base skin. I believe it's a skin that's based off the Cuvier's dwarf caiman. Either way, you have both the patterns next to each other to showcase. We also get a size comparison with it and Sarcosuchus. Firstly, the Peru is bigger than the Sarco in length. It's also stockier. Look at the head, for example. Look at the body. Look at the tail. This thing is built for raw damage. Stood side by side as well. This thing's wider and it is taller, so we know who's been eating all of the pies. I'm really excited for this playable. I'm curious how it will compete with the Sarco and the Deinosuchus mods that are in the game currently, but one can wait and see. We have 3 final mods to talk about here. We're starting off with the KTO Torvosaurus. Now, the KTO mods made by Sergey, you'll know who they are. They've made the Nanoxaurus, the Dryptosaurus, the Tyrannosaurus. I've definitely mispronounced that one, but either way, they also brought the Diplodocus to the game. They brought many cool mods, and this one might be one of the next. This was showcased with a gorgeous teaser image, and well, that's literally it. But I gotta say, as per usual, it does look really nice. I love the texturing on it. I love how detailed it is with the, the scaling and everything like that. My favorite parts are the little spikes running along the back, and even the little spiky scales protruding from the cheek and the lower jaw and the forearm as well. I think it really brings it together a bit more. This mod is looking awesome so far. I don't know the development status on this, but I cannot wait to see more teasers for it. Next up, we have a herbivore. This is the Edmontosaurus by Regalius. We have some progress and some news regarding it. Firstly, we have two close-ups of the head of the dinosaur showing off the texture detailing, and we also have a tidbit of information of that the rig is now done for the Edmontosaurus and that it can start the animation phase for its development. And finally, after my preview of the Ichthyovenator, which I recommend you check out, which I uploaded last week, it's an early first look. The creator of the mod firstly got a lot of feedback from you guys, constructive criticism that they are grateful for and are taking into account. We actually get to see a little bit of fruits from this labor as well, because we get to see an updated swimming animation, because the previous one looked a little bit stiff, and I believe it was using the Suko swim animation. Either way, it's now got its own unique set of swimming animations, and personally I love it. I think it's far better than what it was previously, and done a good job with it so far. I'll showcase the rest of the preview here, so here it is. As for that, everybody, that is the mod news for today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I'd love to know what you think. But other than that, guys, I'll see you all in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.